Hey everyone, Pup Twigs here on a special edition of Unleashed for our Pride Month. And joining me from Manchester, New Hampshire is Mercurius the Lion. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I am doing really good. So glad that you were able to join me today. So I know we're getting ready to get into Pride Month, and I just wanted to find out, how do you personally define pride?
So pride for me, is protest, an expression of who we are, who we deserve to be, who we want to be. Um, Pride to me means to get out there, express yourself, be who you are, show the world that you exist and that you have purpose. And as a lion, pride means to me to be one with the group, to be one with my family, the people who I cherish.
Yeah, it's kind of fits in with the lion because the group of lions is called a pride anyway. So that's kind of twofold, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably one of the best parts about being a lion. There's so many multiple meanings for everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, what does pride represent to you in terms of your own identity?
So, as we say, pride is part of being a lion. But in my personal identity, a separate, more or less separate from my pet identity, um, pride to me is just trying to find a way to help others get the natural experience of the life that they want.
Okay.
Um, if you are a firm believer of pride, if you've gone to pride parades, the best part about all of it is to be there in camaraderie and to experience that there are all of us in different makes, different shapes, different identities, different ways on how we express ourselves and how we love each other, and that we should all be coming together to show love and show appreciation, and that togetherness is the only way we're going to survive, the only way.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Well, what aspects of pride are most important to you?
I would say probably the most important ones are the learning about other people in our community. That's probably one of the biggest parts. Because I've learned through my title holdership that a lot of the times we speak but we don't listen.
Hmm.
And pride gives us the ability and the opportunity to say, hey, what is it that you need, especially to like our trans community and our trans siblings, like what is it that we can do to help you feel more comfortable? And when we have pride and we have celebrations, it's also a time for us to reflect on things that we need to change as well.
Okay.
And as a cis gay male, it's kind of important for me to say, oh, I do have a minor amount of privilege because I am a person of color, but I know my trans siblings have a different experience, and I need to know and understand what that experience is so I can come back and say, hey, this is what they're saying. This is the changes that need to be implemented. So, listening is definitely one of the biggest parts for me of Pride. I'd say the second biggest part is just getting to enjoy each other's space.
Hmm.
Because a lot of the times we have divided spaces. I feel like Pride is one of the only times where everybody is invited to everybody's space because Pride doesn't singularly belong to any one specific community.
Yes. Agreed. Well, you mentioned a title holder. So what title do you are you currently holding or have you held before?
Well, I've held quite a few titles in my timeline. I've held North wow Jesus Christ, it's a bad title. That's why I don't really think of it. Northeast Drummer Boy 2016.
Oh, really?
That's when drummer was real. There was a really big situation that happened after that. So
Yeah.
that's a whole different story for a whole different day. I was Providence Cub 2020 and 2021, and I am the inaugural North American pet. I was the first North American pet back in 2023.
Oh, nice. Well, congratulations on all those. So
Thank you, thank you.
that kind of stuff does keep you busy.
Oh, beyond all means, I'm actually competing for World Pet in October.
Are you really? Where do you have to go for that?
That will be in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh man, awesome. Well, good. Well, let's cross our fingers and
Yes,
our thumbs.
yeah.
Well, how has your understanding of pride evolved over time?
Well, I remember when I first came out, and I always thought Pride as really a big just party. Like Pride is the party thing, especially being from New England. Going out into Boston during Pride, it's literally like a big party. It's the
Yeah.
giant Pride parades. There's block parties all over the place. And then as I grew older, I could see the struggles our community were having over time. Like we were starting to get acceptance. We were starting to get, oh, gay marriage has now become a thing that we all can achieve because it's approved. And now where it feels like we're in a slant where we're going backwards in time again.
Yes.
And so my understanding for Pride more or less being a party now is like this is a time for us to strengthen ourselves, for us to breathe and say, it's okay to be us. And we have fought in the past. We've had to fight for our rights. We've had to fight for every single piece of common ground that we have now. And this is not the time to lose it. The last few prides for me have all been about I need to be here to support my community and show that as a person of color, as a gay male, it is time for us to come together no matter what you look like, because what's going to happen is we're going to divide. And once we start dividing, then we start falling. So we need to remain together.
Agree. Yeah, we definitely need to stay together, that's for sure. Well, how do you think Pride has impacted our community with our rights and our visibility over time?
I mean, pride has made us very visible. It has it there, so there's some good and there's some bad with pride. I will say that a lot of people outside the community, obviously our heterosexual counterparts, think that pride is all about us just displaying our sexuality out there for no reason,
Yeah.
and that we're trying to force our way of life on other people when that's not the case. Obviously, we're just out there expressing who we are.
Hmm.
That's the that that was the main point of pride. It wasn't to like push this gay agenda that everybody thinks we have. I mean, the gay agenda to me just seems to be let's be happy. Like that's what we all want. We all
Yeah,
want to be happy.
happy and live our life. That's our agenda.
Exactly. Exactly. And it feels like that's like the bad part is people are assuming that we're pushing something, but the good part in pride is you get to see the smiles on all the people who feel as if they've never been represented. So for me personally, I remember going to Pride and seeing another person of color out walking in the parade and
Hmm.
feeling like that's somebody I identify with.
Yeah.
That's somebody who I feel like represents who I am. And part of the reason why I became a title holder as well is because I feel like everybody deserves to have some role model. And there's never going to be somebody who's going to perfectly fit into somebody's box, but there's always going to be somebody who I can say there's two out of three things that this person has about them that I can identify with. And I think that's like the best part about pride. You find people who you never thought you'd have some common ground in.
Yeah. You do that for sure. So, what do you hope others understand about Pride when they either come to participate or they just come to witness it?
Um, I really hope they understand that we are all people and we are all just looking to be our happiest selves. That is the that to me is like what if I go to Pride, that's what I see. I see people smiling. I see people enjoying themselves. I don't see people sad, depressed, upset. I see people trying to revel in the small moment of time that we get to go and celebrate. This is who we are. Let's shout it out loud. Let's be happy. And I want people to understand that you can do pride should be 24/7, 365.
Yes.
We shouldn't have 1 month. Pride should be a way of life. We should be just happy being who we are. And it's now time for you, no matter who you are, to be that person who you want to be.
So as a title holder, you know, when you go to celebrate Pride, do you participate in the events or how do you celebrate it?
So last year, so Heath, my husband, who was Mr. World Bear 2023. Well, no, yeah, 2023. Heath was Mr. World Bear 2023. We actually walked in Providence Pride. We carried the leather flag all through Providence, Rhode Island.
Wow.
And that was great. Most of the time, really revolves around my birthday. My birthday is June 18th, so it
Oh,
always revolves around there.
nice.
So I spend a lot of my time working with organizations. Like I've worked we have a local bar who we help get banners for to that just started up to so that they could be in the pride parade. We stood in the parade. I got heckled quite a few times, and it was kind of great to see somebody scream at me and say, "You don't deserve this way. You shouldn't act this way. You're exposing." Like, excuse me. I'm just doing the best I can to show that there are people like me out there.
That's right.
Um, but the big thing about being a title holder for Pride is honestly, and this is very scary that I have to say this today, is that I need to be a lookout for the community. I've seen a lot after what's happened in Orlando, what happened at Pulse.
Yeah.
My eyes are always on the watch for the next spectacle thing that could happen. And I find myself, especially during Pride, as not just being there being a title holder, but being like a semi-security guard. Like if I notice something or I feel like something's off, I'm one to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people who are at these things, A, they don't see that kind of stuff,
Right.
or they feel like they shouldn't say anything or do anything because they're ruining the party. Hey, as a title holder, it's my responsibility to make sure everybody's safe.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. We got to make sure of that. Well, I know what the parade is like down here in Orlando. It's one of the biggest parades in the state and probably in this part of the U.S. But how do you view the Pride celebrations? How does it create change in our society?
So like I had spoken about before, I think a lot of the pride celebrations allow for different communities to interact.
Hmm.
So that's like the biggest portion is because I feel like a lot of the communities are separated. Like we have the bear community, we have the pet community, we have the trans community, we have all these communities that come together during Pride. This allows for the intermingling and integrating of ideas, personalities, and groups to finally connect. Like we're hosting an event next weekend called the Northeast Title Holders Ball, which has never been done in New England. Never. And the whole point of the event is to get all the different mini groups that are in New England to finally come together and do something together. Because New England is starkly known for like, I have my pocket group, I'm going to stay in my pocket group, and I'm not going anywhere. And that causes problems because we don't share like a New England calendar. So you have people multiple groups trying to raise money for different things, but it's all on the same day.
Yeah.
And like and so that causes people to choose, oh well, do I want to go here, do I want to go there? And I'm like, well, if we had a centralized calendar where everybody knew what dates everything was happening on, that would be great. But the idea behind this one is to get all those different pockets of a community together and say, hey, this is what my community raises funds for, this is what my community does for its members, this is what my community wants to do, this is how we all can intermingle and push ourselves together so that we can be more cohesive, so that we can listen better, so that we can serve the rest of the community who needs that better.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Uh, I agree with you. Well, what message do you think Pride sends to our future generations of our LGBTQ plus community?
It's really it's funny, but it's kind of what pride has always signified to me. You have to fight for the things you want and believe in, and the fight may never end. You may be able to stop fighting for a little while. You may be able to like not have as hard of a fight, but the fight is always going to be there. And I want people to remember pride as not only the celebration of us being ourselves, but the celebration of what we have overcome.
Yes.
And I think that is the biggest message I want prides now to show us in the future is that we struggled and we fought and we tried our hardest to have our rights. And no matter what, we will celebrate who we are and we will have to fight for who we are.
Yeah. And we're going to always have to fight, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad, but it's the case. It's the
It is.
case.
It really is. Well, it has been a pleasure getting to sit here and a little bit of time catch up and learn a little bit about you and what pride means to you. Any last words before we get off of here?
I would just want to say that everybody deserves the right to be who they are. And that if you ever are ever worried, if you're ever bothered or ever concerned that you aren't, it's not okay to be who you are, reach out, seek out, look for those other members in the community, such as yourself, such as me, who are here to not only nurture you being you, but also here to say it's okay. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to have a hard time. We're all human. We're a majority of us are pets, and all of us just want to be loved. And it's okay to seek that out.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for wanting to be on here. It was a pleasure getting to meet you and talk to you for a little bit of time. And I know we'll be talking again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.